All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Frequentem Brewing Company, and they're out of Canandaigua, New York, and this is their natural flavors, the Tangerine variant. So they're calling this one a Sour IPA with Tangerine. It comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just under 2 months old. And I'm gonna give a huge thanks and shout out to a couple good friends of mine and fellow beer tubers, Dan and Mike over at FLX Beer Reviews, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to their channel. Go over there, check it out, say hi. Great guys, great content. And Mike hooked me up with some Frequentem beers, and I am enjoying them quite a bit, and I cannot wait to get in this one. So I have had one beer within this natural flavor series. It was the strawberry one, and it was okay. I didn't really care for it too much. I think I gave it like a 3.65 out of 5, something like that on Untapped. And yeah, it was okay, but I just felt like the strawberry didn't really work with the Sour IPA base. Now with this, with Tangerine, I feel it's gonna work. And they're using Azacca and Idaho 7. And if I can recall correctly, I believe like at least one of those, I think it's Azacca, kind of has like a tangerine kind of feel to it, maybe Idaho 7. So maybe they're trying to accentuate the tangerine flavor with, I believe they're using fruit puree in this and not just like straight tangerine. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing here, but we'll see. At least the strawberry one kind of poured out like fruit puree. So we'll see if this one does as well. Anyway, give it a crack, get in the can here and see what we got going on. So, ooh, if they're not using puree, then damn. Because it definitely looks like they are. It's very, I mean, okay, it's not crazy. Like the strawberry one definitely was more looking like a puree, like one of these, smoothie sours. So maybe not. Maybe they're just, using all the tangerines. Who knows? Have not used this glass in a long time, so we got a little dirty glass mafia. It happens. So yeah, that pours out this really deep orange color. This, honestly, if it wasn't for the tangerine, I'd say it looks like an oxidized IPA. But the head, so yeah, there is some of the pectin and like the fruit puree on there. So I feel like they're using tangerine puree. That's probably what they're using. But there was about a finger of this like lightly orange, almost tannish, khaki colored head. It is now dissipating into a thin film. But yeah, that looks like a beer that would have tangerine in it, whether it's puree or actual tangerine just itself, whatever. Who knows? Let's get a nose. I smell tangerine from here. It smells awesome. Okay, so they're using puree, no doubt. It has to be. Because it smells like orange juice or tangerine juice. It's so vibrant, and it smells like a citrus juice. Now, full disclosure, when it comes to sour IPAs, not one of my favorite styles. I prefer dry hop sours, and I know there's probably not a huge difference, if any, between the two, but every dry hop sour I've ever had has done better than sour IPAs. Then again, when I see a sour IPA, usually it has fruit, some kind of fruit added to it or blended with it or brewed with it, and this is that case where I'm not getting a lot of IPA in the nose. It smells like straight on tangerine. You're talking about the rind, the pith, the peel, the actual flesh, the juice part, like everything in a tangerine is what this nose is bringing to me. It smells awesome, but like I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, super hop forward, blah, blah, blah. It smells like a fucking glass of tangerine juice. Not getting substantial sourness or even tartness, like a slight tartness that you get from like a tangerine or orange juice, but not really sour, not really hoppy. Just smells like fucking tangerine puree. It smells delicious. I don't know. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Mike. Oh, that is fucking insane. Like, that's so, I'm at a loss for words. And if you follow the Beer Patrol and you watch the channel, if there's one thing I can do, it's talk about random shit for hours. I can make 12-minute videos where probably 75% of it is me talking about nonsense because I like to talk. I'm speechless. I'm not going to say this is absolutely like amazing or delicious, but what my palate just experienced in terms of like peaks and valleys and just going for like a roller coaster type of ride, fucking cool. I'm going right back in. Have you ever, I've only done this a couple times in my life, and I know there's people out there who do it. I typically don't. I peel most of my orange, tangerines, things like that. But this is like those little cuties, and you just like bit into one of them. Like just straight bit into the fucking thing. Didn't do anything other than just grab it, bite into it. Maybe you washed it off first, right? Hopefully. because I'm getting a huge tangerine peel, but I'm getting the tangerine juice, I'm getting the pith. If there was more of like a pulpy kind of sensation, like some of the crazy fruited sours, it would be everything in one. It'd be like a full-on pulpy tangerine juice. Body of this one is 6.5%. It's like medium, higher side of medium. This isn't like super thick and crazy, but has a little bit more viscosity because of the puree. The mouthfeel, it's spritzy on the palate. Decent amount of carbonation. Not overly so, but there's a decent amount there. It has like a soft, smooth kind of aspect to it. So the body and mouthfeel are fine. I'm going to pour the rest in here just in case we have a crazy amount of puree at the bottom or something. A lot of the times those beers, you know, the heavily fruited sours or something like this, you know, it happens. So anyway, body and mouthfeel are fine. The taste. I'm not really getting any hop characters in this. There is, I'll tell you from front to back of the palate, this is how it goes. Right from the palate, it's like biting in to that. It's like a cutie. As it keeps on passing through the palate, you start getting nuances of what you just consumed. So at first I get a big blast of tangerine juice, and then on the finish is where like the peel and like the pith kind of hit me, like on the back of the palate, which was when I first took a sip of it, that's what kind of surprised me. There's an underlying like firm tartness to this beer. It's not sour. It's not mouth puckering, at least for me. My palate is very acclimated to sour things in general. So it takes a lot for a beer to kind of make my mouth pucker. This does not do that. This is like a firm tartness at best. There maybe is a slight bittering aspect on the back of this. It's a generic bittering, probably from the hops. I would hope that if the hops are doing anything here, the Azacca and Idaho 7, it's just adding like more of a tangerine or citrus note to this because it's not all that complex. Like I said, it's like biting into a tangerine, to a cutie, something like that. And that's what you get on the palate. And even when I burped up right there, it was like I just took a sip of orange juice, and that's what's on the burp. Yeah, is this amazing to me? It's not, only because like I've had beers like this before, right? Like I've had heavily fruited sours and whatnot, but I think the fact that it's tangerine specifically, and it's a different type of fruit when it comes to these heavily fruited sours that usually are like berries or crazy shit, you know? It's not usually like, oh, here's just a tangerine. I think it's cool and unique from that aspect. I don't think it's amazing beer, but I am enjoying it. Have no problems drinking the rest of this one. 6.5%, you can't even tell there's fucking beer in here because a lot of people would say this isn't beer because, you know, there's so much fruit puree and whatnot. And you know what? They might be right. Maybe not. I don't really care. Anyway, it's a really solid beer, and I have no problem giving natural flavors, the tangerine variant. This from Frequentem, I'm going to give that a high 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.1 out of 5. I think it deserves it. I think it's good. I can't give it much more. It just lacks in complexity. It really doesn't have that sour IPA kind of aspect. This is more like of a tart, slightly dry hop sour with a shit ton of tangerine flavor. I love tangerines. I like tangerines, so I'm enjoying this one. I just think the experience of this one's cool. Like I said, biting right into like a fresh tangerine from the peel right to the juice. Like everything is included, and it's a lot of fun. So price and availability on this one. I think it was $18 a 4-pack at the brewery. So, you know, you're talking $4.50 a can. It's a little bit pricey for a 6.5% just sour IPA with tangerine, but I would say I would buy this again based on what I'm enjoying here. 4.1 out of 5. Yeah, $4.50 a can. Sure, I've paid way more for a lot worse. Availability is Frequentem. It's brewery only. I don't think they get any distro. So huge thanks to Mike for hooking me up with this one. A lot of fun. If you've had this one before, and I know my buddy out there, Ridgeopolis, another friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, check out his channel. He's a wild man. He's great. He's great though. I love Ridge. Different vibes. I think you need different kind of characters in the craft beer community, and I just love Ridge's rawness, so to speak, and honesty and everything. And you know, he tells it how it is, and a lot of times his reviews are crazy, but in the best way possible. So I know Ridge has had this one. I want to see what he says about this one. I know these aren't exactly like his jam or right in his wheelhouse exactly because he likes, you know, hazies and whatnot. But we'll see. I think he's going to enjoy this one. If you've had this one before, you're in the Western New York area, you've ever been to Frequentem, let me know what you think about them. I think they're doing really good, cool things, and this is a prime example. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Like I said, thanks to Mike for this one, and until the next one, cheers.